Well, guess what, guys? Today is the day that the Super Duty kit arrives. Right now, it's about 6 a.m. and the kit is supposed to arrive between 7 and 7:30. I do have about 5 or 6 guys coming over to try to help unload the crate from the truck. But right now, that is my biggest worry, is getting that crate off of the truck. That crate is 14 feet long and it weighs 1,250 pounds. So, I mean, normally I could lift that by myself, but I thought I'd have some other guys come over and help. But I still don't know how we're gonna lift that off. What I'm hoping is that we can slide it off onto the lift gate and then everybody can lower it while they lower the lift gate. We'll see how it works. So if you are buying a kit airplane, this may be one of the things you wanna think about is when these delivery companies deliver, it's usually one driver with a huge crate. So you really need to have a way to get that crate off of the truck. They don't provide that service. So I'm hoping the guys we have will be enough to do it. If not, I figure worst case scenario, we'll take the top off of the crate and start unloading parts from the crate, which will make it lighter, and then maybe we'll be strong enough to take the crate off of the truck. I'm not sure what the opening height is on my hangar door, but either way, it didn't open quite far enough to have the truck back all the way in. So we had a few people climb in the back of the truck and help slide this crate out. But the problem was it was hard to slide, and then there wasn't enough people on the outside to kind of hold it while we lowered it on the lift gate. So Brian came in with his tractor, and now the new plan was to put the aft end of the crate in the bucket and then slide it out, and then they can lower the lift gate and the bucket at the same time. Well, it was either luck or skill, but that seemed to work out pretty nicely. Next thing we needed to do is get his little handheld forklift thing, I don't know what you call it, but we need to get that out of the truck so we could slide the crate off the back of the lift gate and into the hangar. Well, the hard part now is removing his jack from under the crate. We used a couple 2x4s, but that didn't quite raise it enough. So we just got some people on one end and lifted it up enough for him to remove it. Then we took the 2x4s back out and set the crate back down on the floor. Well, of course, the fun part now is opening the crate and seeing what's inside. Now, obviously, there's a lot of thin aluminum parts in here that need to be protected, and Zenith does a really good job of packing. In fact, I think I know why that crate was 1,250 pounds. I think about 800 pounds of that was brown paper. But there's a lot of paper here to take out,
But again, it is packed very nicely, and actually no parts that I found were damaged at all in the shipping process. Now, luckily for me, my buddy Scott wanted to take as much of this paper home as he could so that he could make a bonfire out of it. So it was fun to watch him load it up in the back of his truck.
Yeah, that's gonna stay in there going down the highway. All right, you got it all set there?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice and tight here.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yep.
Well, this is most of the parts out of the crate. I think just the wing skins were left in the crate. So everything's sitting out in the open, ready to organize and inventory. And that is the next step. Getting ready for inventory, my dad and I are opening up these leading edge wing ribs. It's always a good idea, I think, to open things up and check for the proper quantity and then also the condition of the parts. If you do find something damaged or missing, it's much better to let Zenith know early on rather than a year or two later after you've accepted your kit. Every part has a label on it, and you can see the numbers. Those numbers are referenced against an inventory sheet, and you just put a check mark there if you have it, and once you're done, place your parts on a shelf and safely store them away for when you're ready to rivet them together.
All right, what do we have?
SD75W3-4.
My dad and I came up with a good system where he would read off the part number, I would find it on the inventory sheet and mark it off, and we just went through all the parts in the entire crate, and eventually after a few hours we had the entire kit inventoried. I thought the best place to put some of these long parts like wing spars and stuff was under the workbench, where there's basically 14 feet of room and they won't get kicked or damaged or hang off any other shelves.
SD75H2-7.
H2-7.
H3-9.
Got it?
2-5.
Got it?
Well, you guys know Brian, his Glass Air guy on YouTube. He had some commitments he had to do, but on his way back, he decided to stop back at the hangar, so we put him to work inventorying. And it was at this point I learned that I'm really a good middle manager type.
Can you guys hurry up a little bit?
C75F8-3.
These donuts are so good.
Firewall side, stiffener, left, right.
If you guys get done early, there might be some donuts left.
Well, most people start with the rudder. That's usually the first part of the airplane that people build. If you're new to the channel, I had already built the rudder for the Super Duty, so I'm going to start now with the horizontal stabilizer. Before my dad started his journey back to Pennsylvania, we got all of the horizontal stabilizer parts out of the box, and we just wanted to get them organized on the table to make sure we had everything we needed. And now all of these parts are ready to prepare for primer and assembly. Well, everybody, I hope this video gave you an insight into what it's like to get a kit plane delivered to your house. It's an exciting day when that huge crate arrives. It's a big, heavy crate. Make sure you have lots of guys to help you out. But the real fun starts when you get the crate off the truck, everybody goes home, you unscrew the top of the crate, and you just start looking at all these airplane parts. You know, but at the same time, I know that it can seem overwhelming when you lay out thousands of airplane parts on the floor and you're going through them and organize them and you're thinking, how do I get all of these parts assembled into an airplane? It's normal, I think, to feel like you have no idea how you're going to accomplish that. But I'm here to tell you that anybody can do it. This is going to be my 5th airplane that I built. And even me seeing all these parts, I still feel a little bit overwhelmed. So it's normal. Just remember that when you start going through the construction manual and you start on step 1 and step 2 and step 3, and you take these parts in your hand and you see how they go together, when you take it step by step, it's not overwhelming. This is something that anybody with a little bit of patience and a little bit of willingness to learn can do. So I always tell people anybody can build an airplane. It's the most exciting hobby in the world. And when you're done with the fun part of building, then you get the fun part of flying. So I hope you guys will join me on this entire build series. I will be starting on the horizontal stabilizer in the next video. I guess that might be officially episode 1 of the Super Duty build. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos, go ahead and give them a thumbs up because it does help me on YouTube. Also, if you have questions for me, the place to ask those questions is not Facebook or email. It is in the comment section below. I try to answer all of the relevant questions that you guys post. So we'll see you on the next video, I guess.